TypeScript enums are weird. They look like any other TypeScript definition, but they get compiled into JavaScript code. But why is this bad? TypeScript is known for adding static types to JavaScript that don't affect the runtime behavior. For example, when you remove all the types from a TypeScript application, you usually expect to be left with just JavaScript. But enums break this expectation. Additionally, enums can hurt the bundle size of your application. The enum on the left compiled into an immediately invoked function expression, or IIFE. IIFEs are side effects, and bundlers such as Webpack will struggle to perform dead code elimination. So how do we avoid enums? Let's take a look at this compass direction enum. We see that each key is mapped to a value, and the key and values both tell us the same thing. In the code base, we might have some functions that consume this enum. And if we try invoking this function, we can see that we get type safety. But other than type safety, there isn't much benefit to using compass direction.north over the string north itself. So in this scenario, I would replace it with a string union. This is what the JavaScript code looks like without the enum. But if we switch back to the enum, we can see we're left with this large IIFE. What if you have a more complicated mapping? In this scenario, I want to map each of the directions to a particular number. If we use the union type like before, it might be confusing as to what 0 corresponds to or what 1 corresponds to. For these more complicated scenarios, we can get similar type safety and convenience with JavaScript objects. Let's turn this enum into an object. If you hover over compass direction, you'll notice that each key is mapped to a number type. To be just as specific as the enum, we can add a asConst to the end of this object. And now these types are showing up as we expect. We want the type to take in the value of this object. So I'm going to create a TypeScript utility to help with that. This utility will return the values of the object type t. And now with this constructed compass direction type, we can see that it resolves to the value of the compass direction object. Similar to the enum, we can use friendly keys to access the compass directions. And we also get type checking. But one difference from the enum is that you can pass in the value directly. One thing to note is that this object still shows up in your JavaScript code. It's not an IIFE, which means if we define this object and didn't actually use it in the code base, bundlers such as Webpack could optimize and eliminate this dead code. That concludes this video. If this helped or you had other suggestions or tips, I'd love to hear it.